that when London opens at 3 a.m. Eastern, that the first thing that the bankers in Europe have to do is process the orders from when New York closed. And so in processing those orders, it's going to take between 1 to 4 hours, and the market will go in the same direction. So why don't we start off just kind of back testing? I'll show you what I did this morning. This morning might not be real fair because we had GBP news at 1:30 my time, 4:30 you guys' time, but we'll still take a look at it. With this strategy, and let me get an arrow going, pull up my, for me, am I on the hour chart? Yes, I'm on the hour chart. That's 11. This would be, this is my, where I just put that arrow. That is the opening candle. So as you see down here on my trading view, 000, that's 12/8, that's midnight for me, 3 a.m. on the East Coast. That is the candle that I will pull all of my kind of information from. That's where we kind of do our analysis from, that opening candle. We have to wait until that candle closes before we get any information. And so when that candle closes an hour later, so basically at 4 a.m. Eastern, we're going to identify, and you'll see my lines from this morning, they're still here. We're going to identify the high of opening candle, and then we're going to identify the low of opening candle. So in this particular case, the high of that candle was 150.918, and the low of the opening candle was 150.518, as identified over here. Those are the only two numbers that we are going to need, because with those numbers, what we end up doing is putting in a pending order for a buy stop, which is going to be 10 pips above. And I'll type in the text, but I kind of want to give you guys the visuals before I inundate you with the how we put it all together, because I even have an Excel spreadsheet that does all of the work for you. But I want to show you the visuals of this working. So what we do is we put in a buy stop 10 pips above the high. We put in a sell stop 5 pips below the low. And what we're saying is that every single pair, every single night or early morning in this case, that you're going to get at least 50 pips from the move. Again, today isn't really fair because we had news, and that's why this spiked up. With that said, I got my 50 pips with that news, but I'm going to go back. We're going to go back and look at some other days, and we'll look at all the pairs so you can see it. So I'll do at least 3 days. Well, this is early in the week, so I'll probably have to go back to last week, but let's look at yesterday. Because yesterday,
so that you know, Janelle, I took that trade myself, just getting that spreadsheet open this morning when I got it, and I tested it, and it worked perfect. It was right on the money.
Yep, exactly. I mean,
even with the spike.
Even with the spike, exactly. I sent Greg a screenshot probably 45 minutes in, and I do standards, and so I had already made like $2,000 in the first hour. But that's been my experience every day. I mean, we're gonna go back, we'll look at a couple of these. So let's go back to going down 19, 22, 21. Here was the candle from yesterday. Let me get an arrow so it stands out. So this was our candle. And I'll remove my lines now just so that they don't confuse anybody. These were my lines from this morning. So I'm going to remove those. We're looking at yesterday just again to give you the visual. So all we do at 4 a.m. for you guys, 1 a.m. for me, when the candle closes, I'm going to identify the high. Then I'll come here, identify the low. These are the two numbers that I'm going to put into my spreadsheet. I'm going to put in a buy stop. 10 pips above, I'm going to put in a sell stop, 5 pips below. And as you see, within the first hour, if we use our tool here, how many pips did we get? We hit our 50 pips in less than an hour. That was an 80 pip move. 80 pip move. And the strategy is designed to get you a minimum of 50 pips and a maximum of about 200 to 300. For me, especially doing 6 pair, I'm cool with the 50 per pair. That's 300 pips. If that's a pretty much guaranteed 300 pips a night, I'm good with that. But folks continue to ride it out if they want to, but I just want to show you that it works. Now we're not going to do Monday. Monday is opening. Things are a little different on Monday. So let me go back to last week and see where we are. 9/13. Let me see what day it is. I want to make sure I'm doing a weekday. What was the 13th? 13th, Wednesday. Okay. This one, same deal. Looks like you probably would have got your 50 pips within 3 hours. So your sell stop would have activated. Boom, boom, boom. Picked up your pips. Let's go to another pair. USD today. You'll see my lines. Here was my opening candle high, my opening candle low. I put in the sell stop. I put in the buy stop. The buy stop clearly got me my pips before it retraced. Again, there was news today. So we'll go back. We'll go back and look at yesterday. Same deal. Here was I'll erase my lines from this morning so as not to confuse anybody. Let's erase. Where are you? Trash. Okay, so yesterday, here was my opening candle high, opening candle low. And as you see, sell stop would have kicked in. You would have picked up the pips there. We're on a totally different pair. What I have noticed is that typically they will all move in the same direction. So once one gets activated in a sell, more than likely they all start going in a sell. Swiss franc sometimes will do its own thing, but still nonetheless will end up being in that direction. Let's go look at GBP CAD. This morning, you see what happened. Here was my high, here was my low. I hit it going there. Let's go look at yesterday. 5, 3, boom. Let's come down some. 11. Here was my candle, so let me draw my line. That was my high. This was my low. Let me get rid of today's lines. And this will be the last one because I think you guys get it. I know I don't have rookies on the call. You guys see what it does, and you're more than welcome to go back and back test it. But this was yesterday. Clearly, our sell stop would have kicked in. We would have picked up our 50 pips in the first hour. So that, in a nutshell, is the strategy. But let me tell you what makes it easy. I've been doing it 2 weeks now, successful every single day, no losses, all wins. But I have another friend in Trinidad who's in IML. She's with Team Freedom. She's an educator at the University of Trinidad, and she put together an Excel spreadsheet to put in our numbers. I spent the whole first week writing this stuff out by hand. And so let's talk about what those numbers are. So I'll use the candle here, and I'll go ahead and give it some text. All right. Oh, this is from my training before. All right. The sell stop is going to be 5. All right. So yeah, we want that, but that's going to be here. So our sell stop is 5 pips below the open low.
Yeah, I'm at lunch moment first.
Come on, text. Now our buy stop is going to be 10 above the opening high. Hey, Greg, mute yourself.
Greg, mute your line, please.
Sorry about that.
It's all good. So our buy stop is going to be 10 pips above the opening high. So this is what I was saying that I was figuring out on my own. Now, of course, we also want to put in our stop losses. And again, I don't know the reason why. Andre may, obviously being a seasoned trader, may look at it and know why, but our stop losses. So when it is a buy, our stop loss will be at the low. And so let me add that text to it. Our stop loss, stop loss, if your buy activates, will be at the low of the opening candle. All right, so again, be glad when I give you this Excel spreadsheet that you do not have to figure out all these numbers on your own. The only numbers you're going to enter into the Excel was your high and your low. The Excel spreadsheet is going to calculate all this. But just to give you the context behind it. On a sell, your stop loss is going to be 5 pips above the high. So let me type that. If your sell, your stop loss will be 5. Stop loss will be 5 pips above.
And you're doing great, Janelle. I'll chime in at the end and explain some of that, but I just wanted you to keep going. Great work.
Excellent. Above the high of the opening candle. Boom. So, on your sell stop loss will be 5 pips above the high of the opening candle. So your sell stop will be up there. So now let me go pull up the Excel spreadsheet to show you how beautifully this all works. This is courtesy of Dr. Patrice Piggott Cumberbatch out of Trinidad. She put this sheet together, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and zero it out. These are all my figures from today. So you all will get a blank copy of this. So I'm just going to delete everything, and as you see, it's sending my values back to the parameters of the formula.
We're not seeing your sheet, Janelle. No,
You're not? Uh-oh. Let me press new share. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And you only missed me coming through here, right? Taking out the figures?
Right. Which you only zeroed it out. I know what you did.
Okay, excellent. So I'm just going in, taking out my figures from this morning, deleting it out. And as you see, she has all of the pairs here, all of the formulas here. So now that I've zeroed it out, let's go back to the example we were just looking at. And we are looking at GBP CAD. We've identified the high of the opening candle as this 1.66639. So let me go back to GBP CAD. 1.66, was it 639? Going from memory. Let me go back. Yep, the high 1.66639. We identified our low as 1.66233. 1.66233. Once I press enter, look what happens. Here's everything you need to make your order. Here's your entry price on the buy stop, your stop loss, your take profit, which is it's defaulted to 50 pips, and it's even showing you your risk. So you're at about a 1-to-1. Sell stop, same thing. Once you put in your candle high, your candle low, here's your entry, here's your stop loss, here's your take profit. This does all the work. Last week, I did all this by hand, which took the time. I mean, I was still willing to do it because I had back tested it for about 2 months to see that the strategy really works. And that's it. So once the trade activates, my strategy is I like to wait. I like to wait until I'm done. In the trainings on the YouTube videos, they say, oh, well, once it activates, you can go delete your pendings. No, I'm not going to delete my pendings until I'm done. I've secured all my 300 pips because you just never know. Trump can say something. Jong-il out of North Korea can do something. Something can spike your other way, and you might pick something up on your pending order. So my rule of thought is just no, once I'm done, then I'll go delete my pendings. But typically once it activates, what I have learned is they typically all go in the same direction. But like I said, this is my second week doing it. It happens every single night. I would encourage you guys to go back test it and see, just go look at that opening candle and see what's happening the next 1 to 4 hours. And that's the beauty of this. This is not a long-term trade. I'm done. These past couple of days, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was done in an hour and a half. Last week, I think the longest I was in a trade may have been 4 hours, but even still, that's to get 300 pips. And that was just me doing one position per pair. Just imagine doing more than one position or increasing a lot size. Like I'm just doing standard. I'm just doing a standard lot, and I do see myself increasing that, but I like the strategy. I love the way it works. The pairs move in tandem. And I believe that the parameters with the stop losses are set really good, and I have not experienced a loss. So that's the other thing. And of course, we all know the disclaimer: past results can't predict future results. But I'm just saying that the track record and my experience, and as you will see if you back test several of these, how it's going to play out. So Andre, that's really it.